This is a report coming from the USA Congressmen makers, the congressman, the USA Congressmen makers. So it has been indicated that everything that Omotosho did on 20th, it just is for him to mock the Igbo people and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It is a sign to show you that nothing that he bring out as a video he brought out to jail Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, that is proof that it is legal. Everything it is illegal, both the way he do things, both the way he finally sentence Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. So this is the congressmen in US. They have spoken against what Motosho did. They have spoken against it, and they say that that is not law, and that case is not it cannot be accepted as a law. It is again they do it against the Christians and against what is happening upon the cry and everything that the Nigerian people have been crying for them to release Mazen, but still yet they went on to do what is not in the law, what is not in the book. So in this video, you are going to hear everything from this congressman and also from this activist that explain a lot of things about what just happened. So in the US now, they have been debating on this issue right now, because this thing Motosho did, it is not okay, and nobody is happy with it. Nobody. It's only the government, Tinubu, and the lawyer, and some of the people that he bring out for him to make sure that he sentence Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to go to jail, because all those things they have already written it down and give it to Motosho for him to do. That is what he carries out on that day. There is nothing like law. There is nothing like law on it. So as you're about to watch, like, subscribe, and share the video to go around. Let others see what is really going on in Nigeria. And thank you for watching.
The detention of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a clear example. In 2022, Nigeria's Court of Appeal struck down the charges against him and ordered his release. The UN Working Group on Arbitrary Detention has also called for his unconditional release. Yet he remains in solitary confinement, in deteriorating health, and recently had to represent himself in court. Nigeria has signaled that the law is optional and targeting Christians is fair game. Just hours ago this morning, despite the pleas and cries of the Nigerian people and many Nigerian lawmakers, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was convicted on all charges.
In the halls of the United States Congress, where world-changing decisions are made, today, those halls echo with a name that has become synonymous with Nigeria's deepest judicial crisis, Nnamdi Kanu. Just as you watch, Congressman John James didn't mince words, standing before his colleague during a hearing on Christian genocide in Nigeria. He laid bare what many have whispered but few have dared to say out loud. Nigeria's judicial system isn't just broken, it is being weaponized. How can we trust a nation that defies its own courts? James asks, his voice cutting through the chamber. He was talking about Nnamdi Kanu prolonged detention, a detention that continued despite a 2022 Court of Appeal ruling that should have set him free. That's right, Nigerian government is openly defying its own court. In defiance to the law of the court, the Nigerian court has also sentenced Nnamdi Kanu to life imprisonment. The sentencing of Nnamdi Kanu to life imprisonment is illegal. It's a fraudulent judgment. Let me give you a background story. Kanu was in Kenya in 2021 when he vanished. Days later, he mysteriously appeared in a Nigerian courtroom, bound and bruised. What happened in between? According to multiple reports and Kanu's own testament, he was kidnapped, tortured, and illegally renditioned from Kenya to Nigeria without any legal extradition process. Imagine being snatched off the street of another country, beaten and dragged across borders like a piece of cargo. No lawyers, no charges read, no due process, just raw, brutal force. This isn't how democracy operates. This is how dictatorship do. Before we go further, let me make this passionate appeal. Look at this analytics from YouTube. It shows that 96% of those that watch this channel have not subscribed. When you hit the subscribe button and like this video, you are not just supporting me, you are telling YouTube this content matters. The algorithm listens to subscribers and likes. It pushes our videos further. It helps us reach more Nigerians who need the truth. So if this video inform you, angered you, or make you think, please subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and hit the like button right now. Here is where it gets really interesting and deeply disturbing. In October 2022, Nigeria Court of Appeal delivered a clear, unambiguous judgment. Nnamdi Kanu arrest was illegal. His detention was unlawful. He must be released immediately. The court didn't suggest it. It didn't recommend it. It ordered it. The ruling was based on fundamental legal principles recognized worldwide. The judge who presided over the Court of Appeal panel that discharged Nnamdi Kanu and ordered his release in 2022 is Justice Jumaya Hanuta Sankey. The judgment was on October 13, 2022. It was being carried out by a 3-judge panel of the Court of Appeal in Abuja. Justice Juma Hanuta Sankey ruled that Kanu's extraordinary rendition from Kenya to Nigeria was illegal, violated international law, and rendered the charges against him null. The court discharged and acquitted him on the remaining terrorism charges. There was an earlier ruling in January 2022 by Justice Binta Inyako refusing bail, and by Justice Benson Anya declaring the rendition unlawful in a separate civil case. The ruling was based on fundamental legal principles recognized worldwide. Number 1, illegal rendition violates international law. You can't just kidnap someone from another country. There are treaties, agreements, and legal processes for extradition. Nigeria and Kenya have an extradition agreement, but the Nigerian government didn't use it. Instead, they bypassed the law entirely, engaging in what legal experts call extraordinary rendition, a fancy term for state-sponsored kidnapping. Number 2, violation of Kanu human rights. From the moment Kanu was taken, his rights were shredded. He was denied access to lawyers, held incommunicable, and allegedly tortured. These aren't just violations of Nigerian law. They violate the African Charter on Human and People's Rights, which Nigeria has signed and ratified. There is a principle in law. If your arrest is illegal, everything that follows from that arrest is tainted. It is called the fruit of the poisonous tree. If the tree is poison, illegal arrest, then the fruit it produces, confession, evidence, conviction, is also poison and cannot be used. The Court of Appeal understood this. They saw the poison, the order Kanu released, but Nigerian government said no. Despite the appeal court ruling, Kanu trial pushed forward. In April 2024, Justice Binta Inyako convicted Kanu on terrorism-related charges and sentenced him to 28 years in prison. Let's break down what's wrong with the picture. Here is a legal principle every first year law student learns. A court that lacks jurisdiction cannot hear a case, let alone convict someone. Think of jurisdiction like a restaurant license. If a restaurant doesn't have a license to operate, any food it serves isn't legal, no matter how well cooked. Similarly, if a court doesn't have jurisdiction over a defendant, any judgment it renders is void, not just wrong, but legally meaningless. The appeal court already ruled that the manner of Kanu arrest stripped the trial court of jurisdiction. When you illegally kidnap someone and drag them before a court, that court loses its authority to try them. Period. Yet, Justice Inyako's court proceeded anyway, as if the higher court ruling didn't exist. In legal terms, this is called judicial recklessness. In plain English, it is a sham. Much of the evidence against Nnamdi Kanu consists of speeches, broadcasts, and social media posts, classic free speech issues. While some statements attributed to him were inflammatory, they fall into the murky territory between provocative speech and actual criminal incitement. International human rights standards protect freedom of expression, even when that expression is unpopular or offensive. For speech to cross into criminal territory, it must directly incite imminent violence. Simply advocating for self-determination or criticizing the government doesn't meet that threshold. But in Nigerian case against Kanu, the distinction between advocacy and incitement was conveniently blurred. Some evidence against Nnamdi Kanu was presented in closed sessions, away from public scrutiny. Sacred evidence, sacred witnesses, sacred deliberations. These violate the fundamental principle of open justice. Justice must not only be done, it must be seen to be done. When courts start operating in shadows, justice dies in the darkness. Let us look at the violations Nigeria committed in this Kanu case. Nigeria violated Kenyan sovereignty. Nigeria violated international extradition laws. Kanu experienced physical torture and abuse during his capture and detention. Kanu was denied adequate medical care. Kanu was held in solitary confinement for extended periods. He was restricted access to his lawyers. His trials were conducted under intimidating security presence. His proceedings were carried out from a compromised judiciary. Nigeria openly defied the Appeal Court's 2022 order. The Nigerian government officials publicly stated they will not release Kanu regardless of court rulings. Nigeria breached the African Charter on Human and People's Rights. Nigeria ignored UN Working Group on arbitrary detention calls for release. Nigeria disregarded international human rights standards. Congressman James didn't mention Kanu case in isolation. He connected it to broader patterns, political prisoners, judicial defiance, and the Nigerian government failure to protect its citizens from violence. You might think I am not a Biafran. I am not IPOB. Why should I care about Nnamdi Kanu? Here is why. Today is Kanu, tomorrow it could be you. When government can kidnap citizens from foreign countries without consequence, when courts can ignore higher court rulings without repercussions, when the law becomes whatever those in power says it is, no one is safe. The Kanu case isn't really about Kanu. It's about whether Nigeria is a nation of laws or a nation of men. It's about whether courts serve justice or power. It's about whether your rights as a Nigerian citizen mean anything at all. If the government can do this to a high-profile figure with international attention, imagine what they can do to ordinary Nigerians with no cameras watching. The pathway forward is this. Rather than sentencing Nnamdi Kanu to life imprisonment, the Nigerian government should obey the Court of Appeal 2022 ruling, releasing Nnamdi Kanu immediately. Comply with your own judiciary. Restore some semblance of judicial credibility. Hold accountable those who authorized and executed Kanu's kidnapping. Show the world you take human rights violations seriously, even when committed by your own government. Address the systemic issue that allowed this travesty. Strengthen judicial independence. Protect judges from political pressure. Address the underlying grievances that fuel separatist sentiment. You can't imprison your way out of political problems. Cooperate with international human rights bodies. Show transparency. Demonstrate that Nigeria respects the rule of law. As the US Congress has turned its spotlight on Nigeria, as international organizations queue up with condemnation, as a threat of US invasion in Nigeria looms, Nigeria stands at a crossroad. Down one path lies continued defiance, deeper isolation, economic consequence, and a legacy as a nation that abandoned the rule of law when it became inconvenient. Down the other path lies difficult but necessary choices, admitting mistakes, releasing Kanu, reforming institutions, and beginning the hard work of rebuilding trust, both at home and abroad. The Kanu case has become a litmus test, not just for Nigerian judiciary, but for Nigerian soul. Are we a nation where law matters, where rights are protected, where justice isn't just a word we say, but a principle we live? The world is watching, history is recording, and Nigeria's answer will echo for generations.
That is it. At the end, this evil they have committed, it will linger to generation upon generation. And it has shown that Nigerian judiciary cannot be trusted. Imagine somebody like Nnamdi Kanu. All the world is seeing. Everybody is seeing it. And finally, Nigerian later finally do what is in their mind. It shows you that you that have nobody, and you that have nothing, that you are nothing to them, and the judiciary is not for you, is a sign that no man who in Nigeria will trust the judiciary anymore. It is what happened during the days of during the time of P2B and Tinubu. It is what happened during the between the issue of Imo State governors and the first governor that elect before this issue of Ozodinma. So in many cases, it what happened. Whenever there comes, they will rule against you, that is right, while the person that is wrong, they will rule for the person, that the person it is okay. So it is what is going on in the country, and everybody is saying it. How come can somebody that you know that he did not commit anything, he did not commit a crime, he did not commit those so-called terrorism, according to them, he did not commit. The people that is committing all those things, the people that is committing terrorism, you every day you cooperate with them, negotiate with them, give them money, rehabilitate them, put them into work. Some of them you put them into soldier and the rest of the security men. And at the end, somebody that is telling you that this thing you are doing it is wrong. Look at what we need. We don't need this kind of society to be lingering. The next thing you find him, you went to Kenya to kidnap him back to Nigeria, and they start case on him. And at the end, your court say that he did not commit anything. You should send it back to where you take it from. Then at the end, you refuse. So all those things, in fact, nothing in this case that somebody will come up and be claiming that the case it is right. They judge it in the right way. Nobody, even though a kindergarten child, person that is just right, the person that they give birth today, if you look the case, no matter how you use look it, you will know that this case it is evil. It is very very evil, and we should call evil evil, and when we see good, we should also call good good. You cannot rendition somebody and then your court, and you start claiming that you will be doing the right. No, that is not the right way. That is not the right way. And Omotosho, all the whole thing that he practiced on that day of court day, it is what they have already been written on ground for him to pass. It is not direct from the court, and it is not direct. How can it somebody that just be speaking? Look at the next thing you say that he committed terrorism. He committed terrorism. Well, I we are all very we are seeing the whole thing that is going on, and how the congressmen came out and start talking against this evil, because the Nigerian government, they thought that the world will clap for them, that say that what they did is right. But now everybody, since the day they give that case, that judgment to now, nobody is happy. Everybody is against it. Everybody is against it. It is only Tinubu and the Motosho that is praising themselves. How can two people in the country, two people brain will be above the millions of Nigerians? Only two people will be happy in a way millions of Nigeria is not happy, but only two people that is happy. Imagine, is it not an evil? It is an evil and it's a crime. Well, we know that one day God in heaven is the final say, and everybody, no matter whatever you do in this world, you will finally, karma will follow you, and the evil things you do will lie with you one day. That is what we know, because this judgment, it is not right, and it is not the legal way, and it can never stand as the right and the legal judgment. It is evil, and called evil and evil. So my people, I would like to hear your comment down below. Like, subscribe, and share the video to go and let others see the evil that is going on in the country. And thank you for watching.